My name is Jonathan Green, and I'm a white belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and I'm basically 100 pounds overweight. Now, that's where most fighters and most athletes stop caring. They say, well, how did you even get there? How does somebody even become 100 pounds overweight? Well, I don't want to make excuses. I mean, mostly it's about being lazy and eating the wrong stuff. I mean, everybody knows that, right? But at the same time, there's more to the story than that. I was in the military, served in Iraq and Afghanistan, and I got hurt pretty bad. I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm not trying to say I was a hero or anything. It's not what this film is about. But at the same time, it does have some bearing because I ended up with some injuries and some post-traumatic stress disorder, things which were sort of out of my control. And between the medicine and the lack of exercise, I just sort of ended up here. And the doctors told me that I have a, quote, chronic degenerating soft tissue issue in my left ankle. And I also have a torn labrum in my left shoulder. So all that is to say that, they basically told me, you're not going to be able to do anything really athletic anymore. And I took that as a death sentence, because I was a 3-sport varsity athlete in high school, joined the military, stayed in really good shape. And it's like I blinked and 6 years had gone by and I gained 100 pounds. And I was like, what the fuck, And I looked around me and I realized that I'm on the edge of a cliff. I'm teetering on the edge. And if I fall, if I don't do something now, in a year or in 5 years or whenever, I'm going to be that guy that they have to use a crane to lift me out of my house because I'm too fat to get out of bed. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at right now. So we decided to do something about it. I was like, fuck that. We're going to fight this thing. To the best of our ability at least. So I tried the treadmills and the weight room. Lasted about a week, It was just boring. I don't know if I have ADHD or what, but I just can't get motivated to go in there and run around on a treadmill like a gerbil or something. So I thought, you know what, I'll just change my diet. That'll be easy. So I did every fad diet you could imagine. Low carbs, no carbs. I've done the shakes and the juices, and I just didn't have the discipline to make it stick. So I said, fuck it. I've always wanted to do martial arts. Let's do martial arts. Worst case scenario, I fail. I don't lose any weight. Well, at least I'll be a fat guy who knows how to fight. It's not the worst thing in the world, I guess. So I decided to try Jiu Jitsu, and it's been interesting. People say, man, you went to Iraq, you went to Afghanistan, you served our country, that was really courageous. But to tell you the truth, it really wasn't. I was surrounded by so many highly trained, really motivated, good quality people, and there was so much positive peer pressure that, to tell you the truth, getting on that plane and flying to Iraq or flying to Afghanistan was the easiest thing that I've ever done. It was just the environment was conducive to that kind of courage or honor or whatever you want to call it. This, on the other hand, Jiu Jitsu, the gym, this is hard. It's hard to show up and walk through the door in a gym when you know that you're the fattest guy there. When you're 100 pounds overweight and you know that you're not fooling anyone. Everybody can look at you and tell that you don't belong there. That's hard. And all the good people who were around to help me through Iraq and Afghanistan, they're not there anymore. They can't help me now. I've got to face this dragon by myself.
Like this. Like this. Like this.
I'm Angelica Brotherton. I am here at Combat Athletics, where Jonathan trains. I'm a professional fighter and an instructor here.
Very nice. So tell me, it's a lovely
Make
smile.
me giggle.
No, it's great.
Okay.
So tell me about Jonathan's first day at Combat Athletics. What do you remember?
Jonathan's first day was eventful. He came in just like any other student, asking the general questions about training, had goals very common to what other students had as far as fitness and learning a skill and accomplishing goals, perhaps competing one day. And then the class started and we stepped on the floor and we did the warm-up. Several minutes into the warm-up, as welcoming as our gym is, and we don't judge anyone, it was hard not to stare at Jonathan as he tried to do the warm-up. It's about 5 minutes in. He says 10. It wasn't 10 minutes. It was maybe 5 minutes in. And he disappeared. Later we learned he went to the bathroom to recoup himself, and then kind of left. We didn't think he was coming back.
I could give a shit less who my opponent is when I finally make it to the ring. Doesn't really matter. What this is about is taking a stand, saying, you know what, screw you and your diagnosis. I'm not ready to be counted out just yet. I'm not ready to stop being an athlete. I'm not ready to stop fighting. And proving to myself that my life's not over. I'm not quite dead just yet. There may yet be a few adventures left to be had. The fight is just the end result. It's the culmination. I mean, I don't even care if I win to a certain extent. Well, I mean, everybody wants to win, but I figure if I can make it that far without dying, then I've sort of already won.